Welcome in. Take a breath. You are among people who get it. Nothing forced, nothing scripted. Just real stories and a space to reflect. Let's get to it.
Women,
Mufumakazi,
wansadi,
Musadi.
umfazi,
vrouw.
Mulher.
That is who we are. That is our strength. We are remarkable, brave, capable, unique. We are women to women.
Good afternoon, South Africa. Good afternoon, Africa. This is our last Friday of the month of July. Good afternoon to you, Mandisa. Welcome to Woman to Woman.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Massa. It's such a pleasure to be here.
You understand that we passed middle of winter, but there is still some cold temperatures for us to brace for, isn't that?
100%. And winter has a tendency of changing us.
Very much.
Waking up in the morning feels like an Olympic sport.
And I'm counting the days that winter's gone, but it doesn't seem that it will be so soon.
Yeah.
That's why today we brought to you a different program talking about lifestyle. You know, we change some habits during winter. We adopt not so healthy habits, and we bombarded by myths. You have to do this, you have to do that. So we are going to put all that into test in today's program because we want you to be prepared for the next 2 days, and I hope few, isn't that?
Yeah.
Few days of winter that we have ahead of us. There's a question. How is your body coping?
The biggest mistakes that people generally make when they're trying to be healthy during winter.
Okay, I must confess.
Sometimes it's hard for someone to do these normal push-ups. So you can do these ones.
Yeah, indeed, we don't like to exercise.
So we have our winter salad.
It's lifestyle.
Mandisa, time to confess. What are the bad habits or good habits that you have in winter?
Okay, I must confess. Winter has, as I said, changed us a lot, right? And I am a professional procrastinator when it comes to fitness. In winter, I always tell myself that, no, I'll do it tomorrow when it's warmer, as if it will be. Another one is when, I don't feel thirsty, knowing that I have to drink water, but more, my intake is more coffee, tea. Yeah, guilty as charged.
And you're going to find out how bad those habits are. For me, I feel a lot of cold. During a time, I even had to go into some treatment because I wake up on 34 and a half degrees. My body temperature. That is not normal. I think it comes from family. So I need food that brings me warmth. Mm-hmm. And by doing so, we resort to very caloric foods. Oh my gosh, those chocolates and sweets, they are a temptation. So if I don't pay attention, I give myself into them. And then when it's summer, I regret because, of course, I ate more than what I should, and worse, I ate the wrong things. Mm-hmm. I guess all of our viewers, they have those ups and downs during winter, especially if they need to leave home very early. Imagine the kids going to school on 0, -2 temperatures throughout South Africa. That's why we invited Dr. Siviwe from Cape Town to give us some ideas of what is wrong, of what is right, and what are her advices, which we would like you to invite to hear and take into account if they work for you or not, and then you decide to put it in practice. Let us watch what she has to say. Thank you very much, Dr. Siviwe. Now it's with you.
Good day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for a show. And today we'll be focusing on winter wellness. My name is Dr. Siviwe Mila, and I'm a health expert and also very passionate about awareness when it comes to our population. So many times people think, does really cold weather cause flu or the common cold? And a simple short answer is no, not the cold weather. However, weather does contribute in us getting common flu and cold. Flu and cold is caused by what we call viruses. However, in winter, the weather and the conditions around winter make it easy for the viruses to easily spread. This means more people are staying indoors and there's poor ventilation, doors not being open, windows not being open because it's cold. And also in winter, we tend to be in closer contact with each other than we would in summer. And hence, if someone is suffering from something, they can easily spread it by either coughing, sneezing, or just touching someone that has had a viral infection. Another phenomenon that people tend to ask us is, can taking large amounts of vitamin C actually prevent you from getting sick? And also, this is one of the most common myths that we understand and we hear. However, we work on what we call evidence-based medicine. And what is actually the science saying? The current evidence shows that vitamin C does not prevent colds in most people. However, it does assist in terms of strengthening the immune system. Regular supplementation may reduce the duration of symptoms, usually by a day or so. So meaning that you will have the chance of still getting the symptoms, it doesn't prevent. However, you do have what we call vaccinations with help with preventing of flus because it's a virus, as I said earlier on. As a health professional, if there's one winter myth that I would like to literally retire forever, it is the myth that antibiotics cure flu. As said earlier on, that flu or common cold is caused by viruses. Therefore, using an antibiotic for a virus doesn't help. Antibiotics are used to treat bacterial infections, and these can be received in the body by various means. However, though, if you take antibiotics unnecessarily, you do not help the virus because virus is self-limiting infections, meaning that you will get better by yourself with enough water, enough rest, and just making sure the body is given enough time to recoup itself, you get better from the virus. Antibiotics can cause you to have side effects, unnecessary side effects, especially if you're taking it unnecessarily. Also, it contributes to what we call antibiotic resistance. This is when you have been using antibiotics so much in your life that when you need them, when the body needs them because it's picked up a bacterial infection, they no longer work because they are so used to your body. Your body has become resistant to important antibiotics. Most of the times, people will come into the practice and say, Doc, I've got this bad flu, I need antibiotics, I'm gonna be fine. That is a common myth that we would like to dispel and retire forever as professionals. So only take antibiotics when prescribed by a healthcare professional, and if there is a need for those to be prescribed to you. Many of the times we get questions like, why does it seem like everyone gets sick during winter? Is the weather really to blame? So one can say that the winter is like a perfect storm. So when you're indoors and there are gatherings, you've got less ventilation, like you won't have doors open like right now because it's a bit cold. There is less circulating of the air. And more respiratory virus then tends to circulate, especially if you're a lot of people, be it in an office setting, even if it's open plan. And the lower humidity allows for viruses to survive longer. The biggest mistakes that people generally make when they're trying to be healthy during winter is that they go to work or school while they're sick. You know, the child comes from school only one day and you're like, go back to school because there's no one either to look after you. I'm like, my school fees is just going free. But we don't let people fully recover. Not washing your hands more frequently, shaking people's hands, especially after the COVID era where we used to do more the elbow greeting. Now, if you're passing certain documents, we're passing certain things, they're exchanging, but we're not washing our hands much more frequently. And viruses tend to spread by me touching my nose, then we're shaking someone's hand, and then they rub their face, and it's easily then for that virus to get into the next person. Ignoring coughing etiquette. A lot of people, sprays out there, and the virus can. COVID, we were having etiquettes about coughing. You cough in your elbow, even coughing on a tissue, throwing it away and washing your hands. That somehow we have forgotten that hygiene and etiquette when it comes to coughing. This one I'm also guilty of. Drinking too little water. So every day, at least we should try and aim for 2 liters of water. For patients that have got heart problems, that could be a bit less because we don't want them to retain or keep the water in their bodies. But generally, for a healthy individual, 2 liters of water is sufficient. Generally in winter, we do not want to drink because it's cold. We want something warm, and the water can be warm. It does not necessarily have to be cold water or room temperature water, but just making sure that we consume enough water is sufficient. As health professionals, we get asked, are there foods that genuinely strengthen the immune system? The simple answer is to say there's not one superfood. Imagine if there is, we would all want to eat that superfood, right? However, your immune system works best when your overall nutrition is good. Make sure that your plate is covered by a handful of starch and also 1 portion of meat, and the biggest portion should be vegetables and fruit. Whole grains are another one, and this becomes important for the gut health. Nutrients that are important to focus on during winter are the following, and these are key nutrients to include: your vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, iron, and protein. These foods and these nutrients are generally found in your normal day-to-day foods. If your doctor finds that you still have a deficiency despite the food that we eat, then it is important that you take supplements for those. So people will say, Doc, you say we must recover, must take time off, but when do you know when to stop treating yourself at home and come see a doctor? And this is a generally very good question, because we tend to see people coming later on at the hospital and they said, no, I thought you were going to get better. I thought it was going to get better, or he was going to get better. And you find that the condition has deteriorated. So seek medical attention if you're experiencing fever that is lasting more than 3 days, difficulty breathing, and you just feel like you're out of breath, you cannot breathe, or it feels like something, an elephant is sitting on top of your chest, any sort of chest pains, confusion when you are asking someone if do they know their name, or they start just having so much confusion that it is not in keeping with their normal selves, severe dehydration. This is to a point where people are having diarrhea, or they're even sweating so much and not taking in fluids to replace, and therefore they end up being weak and dehydrated. Symptoms that improve then suddenly get worse. So if you feel like, no, I was feeling better, then you just take a dip for the worst. Please contact your doctor. Also, persistent coughs that are lasting for weeks. In a country like South Africa, where we have TB as one of the biggest contributors to our health, I think post-COVID, we're not being giving enough awareness about TB, which is tuberculosis. When you're talking about children, the moment a child has got difficulty breathing, they're not eating well, even if it's small children that are being breastfed, extreme sleepiness, and also persistent high fevers that do not break by paracetamol. Blue lips is a big sign. Make sure you rush to the hospital immediately, because this means that the child is not getting enough oxygen. Signs of dehydration, and that is when you look at the child, they're feeling all boggy and tired. Their eyes look like they're falling to the back because of what we call sunken eyes. And if you touch the skin stays tinted, meaning it looks like the pinch stays stronger. And also for kids that are still on wearing nappies, if there are fewer nappies that you change, if you know that your child generally uses 6 nappies a day and suddenly they're only using 2, then there's cause to worry. So people will say, Doc, what is the everyday habits that unknowingly increase our risk of getting flu and common colds? And one always says that the common habits include touching one's face frequently, and especially after touching other people, not washing your hands as frequent enough, and also with washing your hands, at least making sure you wash your hands for 30 seconds. So you wash inside and make sure that you go into the barrows, you wash your palms and all the way to the wrist. We tend to just want to wash the fingertips and not wash all the hands. Sharing drinks or using utensils, especially with people that are still having a cold or virus or flu. As we're coming to the end of our segment today, if viewers can remember one thing from today, this would be it. My message to you is simple. You don't need expensive supplements or miracle remedies to stay healthy this winter. Good sleep, which is between 7 to 9 hours, a balanced diet, regular exercise, at least 30 minutes every day, hand hygiene, making sure you wash your hands, and staying home if you're sick, and making sure that you are getting vaccinated and your vaccinations are up to date to remain most effective in the way of protecting yourself and those around you. And also, antibiotics do not cure flu. Thank you so much.
Indeed, Dr. Siviwe, you helped us a lot. Thank you for your time once again. Mandisa, a lot of myths that we grew up with. Extra intake of vitamin C as if our body needs it. But one of the things that she spoke, and I think it is very relatable, lifestyle. You take a lot of supplements, but you don't eat properly. You don't exercise. Yes or no?
Yes.
And then you don't sleep. That's one of the things that people overlook today. We need to sleep more in winter. And of course, then our immune system is compromised. Yes. I think you need to start exercising more.
I will, I promise. And also, we also tend to have this habit of minimizing fresh air because we're afraid of the cold. So we keep the windows very open, but very little bit, but not understanding that we need the fresh air. It's not the cold that will get us sick. It's actually us holding and harboring the warmth. That's where the bacteria grow.
And we see a lot of people getting sick. It's because the immune system is compromised and being closed in a small environment. And you know, I travel a lot. And one of the things that worry me the most is you get in an airplane with 107, 200 passengers confined for 10 hours sometimes in an environment which there is refreshment of air, but it's not like natural air. So I have had situations that I entered the airplane and I was fine, but there was someone coughing, sneezing with flu close to us. So the whole block, the whole group of people seated around arrived at the destination already sneezing because of the closed environment we were in.
Yes. And others think that the more we close the environment, the more safer we are. Meanwhile, it's in the contrary. After we heard the doctor's advice, we know that that doesn't work. Another thing I was also guilty of is when you go to the doctor, as soon as you feel flu symptoms and you ask for antibiotics.
Funny.
As if that's going to solve all the problems. But in our heads, we tell ourselves that that's going to solve the problem. But according to our advice, it's not the case. It's like you said, Miss, it's lifestyle.
I think we need to learn to differentiate what is a virus, what is a bacteria. And virus, the body will treat itself. That's the difficult part for us because we have a life. You have to run, you have to work, you have to pick up kids in school, you have to study. And we are in the rush, so we want our bodies to cope fast. I cannot stay home 2 days. Come on, what my boss will think of me. So I have to react, I have to stand up and go. And virus is only treatable with our immune system.
Yes. And on the contrary, it's like you spoke about someone who wants to go. There are others that are like, I'm not going anywhere today. I'm just going to grab my oversized jacket and I'm going to sit right here. Now the exercise, right? That's where it needs to happen. You still need to move around because life moves on.
So I hope that doctor's advice has helped you to self-examine your habits, make your own conclusions, and challenged you to adopt new habits that will improve your health and will help all of us to brace for the days ahead.
And I'm sure, like me, the viewers are asking, exercise in winter. Apparently, our bodies still have to get moving. So Mxolisi is going to help us with some simple movements that we can do indoors, and it's open to everyone, all ages, for us to keep moving this winter.
Good afternoon. My name is Mxolisi Ngina, and I'm a conditioning coach. I'm also a fitness trainer. So a conditioning coach, what we normally do, we work with football players. We work on strength training. We work also on technical training. A few things that you can do at home, simple workouts that you can do at the comfort of your home without spending money. It's very easy, it's very quick to start exercising. If you have any medical condition, it's important to consult first with a medical professional. Normally around this season, it's very important to keep fit, to keep exercising. Okay, so now we are going to start our workout. So the first exercise, activations, which are your warm-ups. Stationary high jumps. Or you can just jump. So these things, you can do them, the warm-ups, the activations, you can do them for 3 minutes or 5 minutes. Then we are going to move to the second part. The second part, remember I said, is going to be your strength training and also your cardio. So the first exercise is cardio. So cardio, you can do it for 30 seconds. You can do 3 sets for 30 seconds. Exercise number 2, it's your strength training. Remember, strength training, it's good for your muscles. You are building your muscles to be stronger. Here on my hands, I have dumbbells. Dumbbells, if you don't have dumbbells at home, you can do invincible dumbbells, which is going to work the same way I'm going to demonstrate with your normal dumbbells. So you can take them up. Anywhere you want to use them. You can do your squats using your dumbbells. So your squats, they will work for your quads, for your glutes, and also for your calves, and also for your ankles, because you remember you are carrying weight. Still on strength training, we have your push-ups. So remember your push-ups and also your sit-ups, they work for your cores. So your cores, your stomach. You can just lift your head. You can lift your feet a little bit higher, far from the ground. You don't need to go do it more than 10. You can just do 10 and then you take breaks of 5 seconds. The advice for ladies or for the elderly women, you can just do these push-ups. Okay, half push-ups. You don't need to be on a plank position, sitting up straight. You can just kneel down, then you go. It's still push-ups. It's still the same as this position. So depending on how your body can carry you through, because sometimes it's hard for someone to do these normal push-ups. So you can do these ones. So you can also do 2 sets or 3 sets, 10 push-ups or 5 push-ups. You don't need to do it too much. Remember, we are taking it slowly. Now we are going to mobility. Mobility, it's very important. It's a workout mostly for the elderly. It doesn't mean it's only for them, but it also covers the other age groups. But this one, I'm going to show a few demonstrations. So, it's important now to keep your body moving to strengthen your muscles, to keep them strong, to carry you to make those movements, to be independent, not depending on someone to give you support, maybe taking a bath or taking a walk. Okay, now we are wrapping up our workout. So now we are going to do your simple, basic stretching exercises. Okay, so if we were working out with your dumbbells, you were using your dumbbells for strength training. So now you need to stretch your shoulders. So you can stretch your shoulders this way. And then we go down. We are working now on your quads here. So you just hold it for 10 seconds, and then you change, come this side, and then we go to your hamstring. So your hamstring can hold here. It works both your calf and also your hamstring. You hold it here for a few seconds, and then you change, and then you are done. These are your stretch exercises. So remember, it's very important to avoid injury, to avoid first week, it's normal. Your body will be painful. So what I normally advise people, when you start working out the first week, the first day of the week, the next day, don't exercise, rest. Allow your body to recover. We call it recovery. And then the third day, you can go do the same thing that you did on the first day. And then the next day, depending on how you are feeling, then if you are feeling well, you are feeling better, your body can engage in physical activity, then you can continue. Okay, but remember, it's always important to stretch after working out.
Yeah, indeed, we don't like to exercise, but there's something that is common sense. As we move less during winter, we like to be, well covered in our blankets. Our circulation is challenged. Mm-hmm. So we feel that our toes and hands are always cold and sometimes even numb. Mm-hmm. So it's necessary to exercise. And I understand, I don't see some of our elderlies doing push-ups.
Of course not.
Not even ourselves. We like that plank push-ups and things like this. I'm sorry, Colisi, but I will think about that. However, there is something that is very common lately that they can find in any app, that it is Pilates chair, that especially for the elders, they are going to be seated so they don't get dizzy, and they will do few movements besides all that he taught you, that you can keep your circulation going, and that will help you amazingly for the days ahead.
I'm grateful for this lesson from Kolisi. Thank you. Another thing I'm grateful for is that's something that you can start with immediately. Mm-hmm. You don't have to wait. You don't have to spend hours at the gym. At the comfort of your home, you can get your blood moving.
And you don't need to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can do those exercises in the comfort of your home. Mm-hmm. Of course, if one of the challenges we have is to select good, healthy food, why not having a slot talking about food? So of course we invited Irene. She had been with us in other shows. She's a chef. She has a catering company. She works a lot with nutrition. That is her differentiation between other chefs. And she's going to teach us some food, comfort food, and healthy comfort food, please, not the chocolate bars that I like. Healthy comfort food and shots to help us boost our immune system. Thank you very much, Irene. The kitchen is yours.
Hi, my name is Irene and I'm a health cook. I say health cook because I enjoy healthy cooking. So I've been doing healthy cooking for the past 6 years, but in essence, that was the business. I've been actually eating healthy for as long as I can remember. And what I have found is that food has a way of making us feel energized. It has a way of making us even feel better about ourselves. So I like food because it's versatile and it makes me feel good. So first we'll be doing a beetroot shot. So with a beetroot shot, you're going to need a beetroot, apple for sweetness because beetroot tends to be a bit bitter and dry, ginger, lemon since it's a winter shot, and grapefruit. You may opt for orange, but I prefer grapefruit. But this is optional. So first you're gonna have to peel your beetroot. Reason being, if you don't peel your beetroot, the skin will actually be very bitter in your juice. So you have to peel it. We're doing a raw beetroot because once you cook beetroot, it's gonna be very difficult for you to actually get the juice out. So in our video, we're going to be using a juice food processor or a cold press juice maker. But if you have a blender, you can also use a blender. It's not that you have to have a fruit juice. I'm not gonna put it here because otherwise it's gonna stain my board. So I'm just gonna cut it in half so that it's easy for the machine to process. Okay, then we're doing our lemon. I should have actually done my beetroot last night because now I have beetroot hands for the whole video. Some people will add the lemon peel, but yeah, you must really have the stomach for it because it's so bitter. Same with the ginger, you want to peel the ginger. Reason being that if you don't peel the ginger, when you put it in the food processor, it can actually get stuck in there. But some people wash the ginger and then scrub off their hair. Just gonna put my waste away. Okay, and then we're gonna add an apple. So you would first wash your apple. So the apple will just give you some sweetness to the beetroot because it's a bit bitter on its own. So depending on the device that you have, other machines might need you to take out the pit, but our machine takes out pits for us, so we don't have to worry about that. And that's it. Like I said, the orange juice is optional. You don't have to use it. So let's put this away. And also, this gives you a cleaner juice, but it does take away some of the fibers that you get with using a blender. So ideally, for nutritional purposes, juice that's blended, it's better than juice that's actually cold pressed. Let's go. So while that's busy, I think we can move on to our next recipe. It can do its job. So the next one is a ginger shot. So ginger shot, it's a ginger shot, so it's just ginger and lemon. Optional, turmeric. A lot of people like to add turmeric to their ginger shot. Ginger shot in itself, it's quite strong. especially because it's just ginger and lemon. That's why you'll add water at the end just to dilute it. What other people also do is you are able to like maybe grate up your ginger and have ginger cubes. So then at night, you just put your ginger and hot water, then you have a homemade ginger tea. So that is a clean ginger shot. So it's just ginger and lemon to make it less harsh, because obviously ginger is spicy, lemon is sour. You can add a fruit to it, but if you just want it raw, this is how you would have it, and then obviously you can dilute it with water. Next, we're going to do a turmeric and grapefruit shot. So I had to put on my gloves because you know how turmeric can dye our fingers and it will take me forever to get it off. So I've put on gloves, which is very important. So if you are able to find raw turmeric, that would be great. I just think it's better than the spice, honestly. So same with the ginger, you want to peel off the skin outside. Also, you'll see I'm doing it over a plate instead of my chopping board because it will just stain it, and nearly impossible to remove that stain. The turmeric is done. Chili for a kick. This is optional, but I do like it, especially if you're doing a winter shot and the aim is, you know, to fight flu or make sure you don't get flu. Having a shot like this every morning will definitely help you. So I'm not gonna do the whole one because it's very hot and it's quite a big one. And then with the grapefruit, I am peeling off the skin. Main reason being that the skin is just too bitter. Grapefruit, turmeric, and a chili. And that's it. I wouldn't do the other one. It's enough if the aim is for you to get like shots for 2. It's enough. You can always dilute it with water if you feel that the turmeric is a bit much. So in all the shots, I would always add a touch of ginger. If you find that the shot is too bitter, you add a fruit, but not too much fruit because fruit has sugar as well. Sometimes you can even add spinach to any of the shots that we've made here. A handful of spinach, you won't even taste it. So earlier on, remember we did our beetroot juice. So this is the extract of the juice that we had made. We're gonna pour it in a cup just now. Obviously, depending on how many shots you want, you will decide. This is 150 ml. So based on how much you want, you will always just bulk up the recipe that we've done. And now we're gonna throw in the ingredients that we did earlier for our ginger and lemon shot. There was a little bit of beetroot pulp in our machine. So you'll see that our lemon and ginger shot, it's not a clear color. It's like a pinkish color because of that beetroot. So with this one, just for you to see it clearly. You'll see with this, it's not that much because remember it was just ginger and lemon. This is our grapefruit, turmeric and chili shot. Okay, I'm gonna actually add that other grapefruit because it's too little, just to give it more volume. So we have our winter salad. So with a winter salad, you can make use of your root vegetables. Root vegetables being your butternut, beetroot, pumpkin, sweet potato, based on the availability. So seasonal veg would be your root vegetables. So in this video, we have butternut. You can either roast it, grill it, steam it, it's up to you. With couscous, you can replace couscous with either bulgur wheat, quinoa, or not do the couscous at all. Then we have edamame beans. You can use chickpeas, lentils, any type of bean that you enjoy, butter bean. And then we have our protein, which is chicken, or you can opt for beef or halloumi if you're vegetarian, or you can just keep it no meat. And then we have feta as our fat for this dish, and that's it. But in terms of taste, it's up to you how you want to prepare it. Garnish, it's up to you if you want to add spring onion or parsley, just to give it that extra flavor. Dressing, it doesn't really need a dressing, but if you feel like you do, you can just do a bit of olive oil and lemon juice to keep it healthy. One thing to watch out for this winter is your salad dressings, your ketchups, your soups. It's good to have all those things, but just be mindful of quantity. When you're making your soup, try adding as many vegetables as possible. Also try doing your vegetables towards the end of your meal, or your end of your soup, instead of in the beginning, so that your vegetables doesn't lose that nutrition because you cooked it for too long. And those are the tips for this winter. Bye.
I relate to the shots because traveling to countries where we have malaria, we have learned that the way to protect ourselves is to keep our acid levels in our blood very low. So we try, and there is something they do that they call it the healing of the lemons, but it's too strong because you have to go from 1 to 9 lemons in the morning, squeezed, and backwards. So I can't cope with that high dosage. We implement it every morning. Every morning we do our shot of half of a lemon with lukewarm water and turmeric. It's cheap, it's affordable, and sometimes during winter we put some drops of echinacea or propolis just to give that boost. Because if there is something that I can do on my own to protect myself from have malaria traveling, I will surely do. What from the recipes did you like the most?
I liked the light salad because you spoke about someone who's very busy. So to whip up a salad and also making sure that your veggies are intaked every day, that really helped. Because for our lives, it's not easy to wait for a soup, but the salad for me, 100%.
So there we go. We have given you options and you can start put them in practice right now. Do you know that in the Bible we find few verses, so you think, speaking about the care for the body. But you're going to be surprised to hear that when I research it, the Bible verses for this moment, I got across almost 100 Bible verses. And we're just going to put a photo of some of the references here for you. And I was surprised we think that God teaches us to invest in our spirit, and it's for sure, that's the case. But also God teaches us not to despise our body. So let us go now to 2 Corinthians chapter 3, and we read like this. Do you not know that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? Yes, we know. But when I think about the temple of God, I think about my soul. I think about spiritual matters, spiritual connections. Of course, I have to read the Bible. I have to pray. I have to come to the church. I have to do my fastings. I have to do my purpose. But how am I going to do all that if right now I don't have a body and I don't have a healthy body to carry me so I can do these things and I can invest in my soul. So searching, I saw how close God makes the care for the body, not vanity, not exaggeration, not appearance, but health, and the health of your soul. And it continues reading, if anyone defiles the temple of God, God will destroy him. Strong, isn't that? For the temple of God is holy, which temple you are. God confronts us and he says, if you destroy your body, how can you destroy your body? Resorting to things that you know they are not good for you. Abuse of substance, abuse of chemicals, being very careless with your health. You know, I'm sorry, but you know those people who say, I cannot eat this, I feel so sick, but I like and I will eat it anyway. Then they fall sick and say, I'm a Christian, I believe in God, I participate of the Lord's Supper. Why am I sick? You are sick because with your own actions, you are defiling the dwelling place of God. As much as you take care of your spiritual life, you have to take care of your body. Because for now, this body here carries me around. This voice helps me to make the word of God to get onto you. If I do not take care of my body, how would I be able to be here talking to you, putting up this show? So which temple are you? Only concerned with the spiritual matters and neglecting this carcass that carries your spirit and helps you to testify about the glory of God? I will leave you with this question. For the temple of God is holy. Which temple you are? But what kind of temple are you? Mandisa, that brings us a lot of responsibility.
Yes,
because of course we invest in our spiritual well-being. Where would you be now if you didn't have your body to carry you around?
I can't imagine, because of the responsibilities we pick up as life goes by, and for us to overcome those responsibilities and keep them. It takes a healthy body. It does.
So in the same way that we invest in our spiritual life, from today on, I hope that we invest in our health as well. Mandisa, would you pray for them? And I need you to go a bit further. I need you to bless our month of August, Women's Month in South Africa, and we have such a great lineup. Not only in woman to woman, but as Women in Action in the church, we have prepared amazing things to boost the confidence, the spiritual life, and today, your health as women. Shall we pray?
Yes, let us all pray. Our Lord, thank you so much for one more show where you teach us, you take care of us, and you show us what to do to take care of ourselves. Lord, we have small choices that we need to make every day, and these small choices make a big difference in our lives. So I ask you in this moment that you give us the strength to balance. Give us the strength, my Lord, as much as we take care of everything around us. Help us to be able to also take care of ourselves. Because when we take care of ourselves, we can serve you better. We can serve our families better. We can serve our communities better, my Lord. Thank you so much, because from today on, I believe the viewers are going to look at life differently. We are not going to go according to what we feel, but we will do what is right. My Lord, I also take this opportunity to bless the month of August. One more year where we celebrate women, my Father. One more year where we come together as women in our strength, in our power, putting aside our differences and just thanking you because you've made us strong. You've made us the rock. All these years you've been by our side, strengthening us. So everything that will be planned throughout this month, I ask and I place it into your holy hands. May it be a success for your honor and your glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. So I can say no more, but I can guarantee to you, God has given us 4 Fridays in the month of August 2026.
I'm excited.
And we are going to use these 4 Fridays in a very smart way because our lineup for the month of August is fantastic. I also want to extend an invitation to you to celebrate Women's Day with us. We will be together in Soweto on the 9th of August, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, celebrating our roots. You want to find out more about that? That's the first lineup for the month of August, talking about going back to our roots. That's all. Until then, God bless you all. Bye-bye.
The first step to healing is simply reaching out. If you or someone you know needs support, email women-to-women@uckg.org.za or call 0800 330 320. Our toll-free helpline offers confidential, non-judgmental support.